Hello and welcome to Code Creative. This is Travis Tolson. All right, so we are going to pick up where we left off in part 4, I think. Let's jump on over and I'll go full screen. So quick recap for those joining in. We've been building a simple list widget that supports skeleton loading. So if I go ahead and reload this, oh, do I not have these set to? So we've added a bunch of instance options to these. We've built them up quite a bit. Yeah, so you can see that I've currently got them set to synchronous. So I'm going to switch to async with skeleton. We were playing around last time with seeing what sort of performance impact there was. So I'm going to switch a couple of these back to async with skeleton. 2 should be fine. So now if I reload, you'll see briefly it's got that little skeleton that pops up with placeholder data, and then once the data loads, then it renders that data. So that's what we're working on, and in this episode, we're going to tackle some CSS styles. So we're going to try and clean this stuff up and make it look a little bit better. I've got my in-house designer with me.
Oh, so hi!
So
I am the most non-smooth person to put on the air. You realize that?
that's all right. That's all right. That makes 2 of us. So honestly, nothing that I've ever done regarding service portals or CMS in the past has ever gone without her critical eye over my shoulder. So
For better or for worse. Sometimes for worse.
So we'll include her in this one as well, and she can help make sure that I'm staying on the right path. So I'm going to pull up the widget editor here. And there's a couple things I wanted to do. So, out of box, if you're using the Bootstrap classes, then you get certain styles predefined. This can be very useful when, you have an existing theme, since most of the existing ServiceNow themes are going to be working with the Bootstrap classes. It's very useful to have those classes in place, because then, if you already have a theme and you plug this widget in, our panel styles that we've specified in our theme, our panel heading, list group item, all of these are going to pick up the native styles for Bootstrap, and we should be able to drop this widget into an existing theme and have it pick up those styles pretty easily if those styles were originally done from a broader scope as opposed to widget by widget. So those are good to have. Once you start talking about, starting from scratch or trying to build a larger set of portal widgets and what have you, using Bootstrap's baseline can actually be a little bit detrimental. ServiceNow ultimately controls the Bootstrap that's included. It is not it's not a pure Bootstrap version. They have customized the Bootstrap. They've customized the CSS in it. So,
it's not the latest version of Bootstrap.
It's not the latest version of Bootstrap, which I know a number of the web devs that I've worked with that have crossed over from general web development to service portal. They go in and they start trying to use the card class and stuff like that, and it just doesn't exist. So, there's always the possibility that ServiceNow could update to the latest Bootstrap. There's always the possibility that they could change the customized version of Bootstrap, tweaking different things under the hood. And all of these can cause conflicts in upgrades with your widgets and with your existing themes. This is one of the reasons why I've, anytime somebody asks me, I push them to clone, even for simple CSS changes. Sure, you can turn around and you can add a couple, CSS declarations in your theme. Dave Spangler says that has hit him a couple times. Would love to see them get in line with current Bootstrap. Oh yeah,
Right?
I really like Bootstrap 4. I really like the latest of what they've come out with. I do like it a lot better than 3. Um, and I believe that there are some compatibility layers as well that can be introduced. It'd definitely be interesting to see that. But even with that, still just if I take an existing simple list and come in here to instance and page editor, for example, and manipulate the, where is it? Some of these will have a CSS on it. Or, you know, let's say that I turn around and I go in to the container background and change the parent class or CSS class and add some special styles over in my theme record. Well, that may work out really, really well initially, but a version down the line, when ServiceNow changes the HTML from an H1 to an H2, or they change the class, or they switch up the order of some of the elements, all of a sudden you find out that your CSS is broken. And I know, Sarah, you recently dealt with a customer where you had to go back and tweak a few things.
And this is the value of cloning your widgets. They wanted a lot of out-of-box functionality, and so, but they wanted a look and feel that was very custom. So honestly, I ended up cloning a lot of the out-of-box widgets and just putting like a CSS veneer over it. But because I used my own classes and everything and put that CSS in those widgets and clone them, we did a double upgrade, and I had to change one line of code to fix one little thing.
Right.
That was it.
Right. You know,
but I did have to fix that one thing because it was one of the only things that I did. I put it on the theme or the page or something like that. I didn't put it in the widget.
Right. The one thing you had to fix was the one thing that wasn't cloned. You know, and with cloning, you can always revert back to out of box without touching the code. And that's one of the great aspects of of cloning widgets, is that they have made it really easy for you to take ownership of the code, make it custom, but still be able to get back to the out of box without having to Z-boot or do something crazy. I'd really love to see some of those patterns that exist in Service Portal adapted to some of the other code components, because it's really quite powerful how you can seamlessly go back and forth between the widget components. You can override it with custom, or you can revert back to the original without actually having to change the code in either. So in the spirit of that, what I want to do is I want to provide a bit of a switch so that we can create custom styles, custom theming that is separate from the Bootstrap. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump over to server script, and don't worry, we will get to the CSS and the aesthetic pieces, okay, but I got to set you up first.
I see where your priorities are.
All right, so let's see. One of the things that I want to do here is I want to expose a new instance option. And I'm just going to call this one theme, I guess, for now. And we'll go options.theme or Bootstrap. And then we'll add an instance option. And this one is going to be theme, and it's going to be choice. And I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last time and do it comma separated. Choices. Bootstrap. We'll just do Bootstrap and custom for now. I do try to avoid Booleans as a choice flag, because with a choice list, you can always add new, but with a Boolean, you only ever have true and false. So rather than ending up with a collection of Booleans, I do try to stick with choices. And if you go back to part 4, you'll see where I had Booleans initially in part 3, and I ended up taking that back and putting a choice list in instead.
I think instead of custom, you should make it awesome.
Awesome.
Be awesome instead. You know you want to.
I am not making it awesome instead.
Travis always has to tell me, no, Sarah, you cannot put Easter eggs in your CSS classes. I'm like, but you shall not pass is a great name for a CSS class.
Your code bothers me.
It's awesome and you know it.
And this is going to be in the presentation. Default value will be Bootstrap. I'm just waiting for chat to blow up with
Dev programs in here.
I love the banter. Who's that at the ServiceNow dev program?
Who are you?
Who are you? Let us play a little game that is called Who's Your Daddy and What Does He Do?
Oh my god. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
All right, so I've got my instance option in there. I do have to capitalize the default value there. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. All right, so the directive I need to use over here is going to be NGClass. And NGClass has a couple different variations. The one that I like to use most is the object, which is basically a set of key value pairs. So for example, if I want to add the panel class, I then specify a Boolean value. So c.data.opt.theme is equal to Bootstrap. So now if the Bootstrap theme is set, the panel class will be included. We're going to do the same with panel default. Maybe an easier way to do that with multiple, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with it offhand, so we'll go the long way.
You're not familiar with what that class does?
No, I'm familiar with the panel default class. I'm having to repeat the same logic twice in my NGClass object, and that's what I'm not sure of. Barnes is our visitor from the ServiceNow dev program. Good to have you, man. Good to have you. You know what? Let me do some research on NGClass because I feel like there's a better way of doing this, setting multiple classes.
You need to go to class on NGClass.
Yeah, I need to get schooled up on the class. NGClass evaluates an expression. Yeah. What kind of expression?
I love using NGClass. Just to turn on and off different, whether it's the drop shadow because it's on a white background versus a colored background, or you can even set it up so that your widget changes completely for a colored background or for a different use case or something like that. You can use the same widget multiple times and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't get to use it much. I have no class.
I'm just going to leave that alone.
I'm sorry. Let's go. All right, so to catch everybody up on my thinking here, I highlighted this array style. So one of the things that NGClass can take is an array of classes to apply. So I am going to attempt to leverage that syntax using a function. Don't know if this is going to work, but we'll find out. The function. Actually, well, do I want multiple functions? I don't know. I'll leave it at this. All right, so if c.data.opt is equal to bootstrap, I still feel like there's a better way of doing this and I'm missing it. Panel and panel default. All right.
You're putting JavaScript in my CSS. I don't appreciate it.
All right. So then c.get panel classes. This should be fun. I don't know if this is gonna. Let's test this before I go doing the others like this. Yeah, see over here in the preview, it clearly broke. We clearly lost we clearly lost our panel class. We got our panel heading, but we did not get our NG class. Let me try squiggle bracing it. I don't know if that'll actually fix it, but...
Is that the actual technical term for that, squiggle brace?
I think it's curly brace.
Yeah,
I think that's the preferred term.
But squiggle brace is more fun to say.
I like squiggles. So I can have an array. Using arrays and syntax, can I use let's see, NGClass function.
Exactly.
Exactly, Andrew. Squiggles is more fun. NGClass with function and expression. Stack Overflow for the win.
It makes me feel good that you research stuff just as much as I do.
Oh yeah, Stack Overflow, ServiceNow community.
And when you're doing your front end stuff, CSS tricks is my favorite.
Oh yeah, I love CSS tricks. I love CSS tricks. Their stuff is cool. And then of course there's also those times, shameless plug, where I end up going back to my own site at Code Creative and I'm like, oh yeah, I did do this before.
Oh yeah, it's impressive and it annoys me when I'm researching something and you're like at the top of the Google results. I'm like, but I've read that and that's not what I'm looking for. Or it is what I'm looking for. And I'm like, So anyway.
I can tell you past Travis always seems to have more answers than present Travis.
Yeah. And present Travis is always looking to screw over future Travis.
Exactly.
Raphael had an answer for you, I think, using the $scope method.
Using a $scope method on the controller, you can calculate what classes to output in the view.
And is that how you pronounce your name, Raphael, like the Ninja Turtle? Not the painter, mind you, the Ninja Turtle. Important things.
Both class and logic.
I don't like mispronouncing names. So.
And Andrew says, that's half the reason to write things down, so I help future me. Same here, man. Same here. Man, this is kicking my butt. I did not expect this. This is getting brutal. The many ways to use NG. Oh, this is another one I like to use. Scotch IO. Apparently I haven't used it recently. You guys have... wait, go back. You guys have changed stuff up on Scotch. Or is it just my resolution? I don't know. I kind of like this. Looks nice. Sorry, Scotch IO apparently changed their web design at some point and I missed it.
I like that amorphous blob shape there.
It's animated.
Are you serious? No, wait, go back. Let me see. No, the one on the background. I can't see the little thing in the corner. The yellow thing.
Yellow thing?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that amorphous blob?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one is animated too.
Ooh.
See, watch it.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, sorry, we got distracted.
Yeah, that happens.
NGClass using string syntax, using array syntax, using evaluated expression. This one seems like what I'm looking for. Nope. NGClass using the ternary operator. NGClass.
I can't add pictures in the chat, can I?
I have no idea. I've never tried. You could probably provide a link to the image.
I could, but that's too much trouble.
NGClass style 1, style 2 as an attribute. Here, let's do this. It seems to be without the curly braces. That seems to be it. And
you know it, Dave. I love the little background images that give it a little more pizzazz, I guess you could say.
Let me try just returning. Just returning. No conditions, no... Oh my gosh. I think I figured it out. Hold on. This should work. It works. And Raphael keeps telling me that I've got it, I think. And I'm there, and I've got it. And the problem is...
Is your chat different than mine? Yeah, it is.
I got the power chat. I can talk to everybody.
Oh,
YouTube, Twitch. I can talk to all of them. Well, yeah. I'll have to figure out how to give you power chat. We'll have to figure that out. I don't know how to do that. Okay, so the problem I had, this function was working originally. The issue is that I had c.data.ops, but I never asked it for the theme option. So it's the theme that has to be equal to Bootstrap, otherwise I'm returning an empty array. And if I save it, ta-da, there we go. Okay, now we're on a roll. Now I got to get moving quickly so that we still have time for the styles and prettifying and your thing.
Prettifying and your... Y'all, he gave me a dismissive wave. That's some crap right there.
No, in all reality, all of her work makes my stuff actually look professional. One of these days, I'm going to have to show my first CMS on ServiceNow. It was brutal.
We need to show that because that was when I was first learning to design. So it was like, it was bad on all ends. Does that mean I get to say I've been doing Service Portal forever too?
I think it counts.
I think it should count.
I think it counts. You know what? I'm going to keep this one simple because it's just the one class. So I'm going to use the other syntax. I'm going to use the object syntax for this one. So when c.data.ops.theme is equal to Bootstrap.
Do you sing when you code?
Sometimes. Most of the time.
How about everybody out there? Do y'all like sing and holler at your code and stuff? I talk when I code. I don't sing though. That's like a whole nother level of extra.
What year did y'all move in?
What year did I move in?
5 years ago.
2000 what?
I don't know what. 2015.
2015.
Our kid has friends over, and apparently they're discussing how long we've lived in the neighborhood.
Yeah, one of them just like came in here and asked us how long we've been here, and I'm like, I kind of want to be a part of this conversation now.
And they're so cute. It's a house full of a bunch of little boys.
So when the theme is Bootstrap.
Dave says go musical interlude. I think I need a soundboard with sound effects. So when you mess up, I can be like, womp womp.
That's brutal. NGClass.
I'm your wife. It's what I'm here for, to keep it real.
NGClass.
So you're having to do this on all of the
bootstraps, classes. Right? Because what I'm going to do.
That hurts. I see what you're setting up for.
Yeah.
And sometimes the tedious setup work is so worth it in the end because then you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Exactly.
That's what I did on those SVG images when I made it so you could control the class via SAS variable. It's real tedious work.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
That was really, I did it because I thought it was fun.
Yeah, so gosh, I have to like.
No, you focus on what you're focusing on.
But it was so cool.
Oh my gosh. Maybe we'll find
share a link or
later.
something. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
what we're talking about is Sarah was working on some stuff for GlideFast purposes. That was basically she took SVG images. Which for those who aren't familiar, SVGs is an XML markup, similar to HTML, but it describes a vector image. It describes an image. So instead of describing it as pixel by pixel, what it does is it basically gives drawing instructions for how to draw the image. Well, what she did was she added a bunch of CSS to it and created this entire theme where I think there was like 8 CSS variables, and you could change those 8 CSS variables, and the entire service portal theme would completely flip to those colors. And it was incredible, especially to watch the images change colors with the rest of the theme. It was wild.
Yeah, but back to the point. It was tedious.
It was tedious. It took a while.
I refined the process as I did it because I was kind of figuring it out as I went. So I figured out like how to shortcut it and everything, by establishing my class names and all that. So
list group item, and we'll take my list. Where'd it go? List group item.
There's a list group item down there.
List group item. All right, so now do I want to do skeleton text title? I'm going to leave the skeleton text ones. I'm not going to modify those.
Yeah, I'd leave
because
that.
those aren't ServiceNow controlled, so I'm going to leave those as is. If I wanted to extend their capabilities, I could easily add some SCSS variables to that, but for now I'm going to leave it alone. All right, so next I need to give you some classes to play with. Well, first let's jump over, and once again we're gonna.
Sure it works.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna switch a couple instance options here. We'll make sure the instance options wired up. So in theory, I should change this. Oh, not that one. Theme. So if I switch to custom theme, it should completely screw up the look and feel, and it did not. Dang.
Were you hoping? Is it supposed to?
Yes, it was supposed to break. It was supposed to break everything.
So why didn't it break?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's do an inspect. So first, panel styles should have Brooksted, but they did not.
That's a technical term only used by the highest caliber professionals. Just so y'all are aware.
Oh my. C.get panel classes. Oh, because I forgot to clear the return statement. That would help. But that doesn't explain the other ones. That doesn't explain the other ones at all. Okay, let's go back, reload. We're still not getting a broken theme. You're killing me, Smalls. What am I missing now? If c.data.ops.theme is equal to bootstrap, return all those guys, else return empty array. Curiosities abound. Let's see, check my instance options just to make sure. Theme is custom, as expected. And yet, if I jump down here and I look at my panel, it is adding, you can see here it's adding the panel and panel default classes. Not ideal, not what we're going for. So let's see. Options dot, let's see, c.data.ops.theme. Let's just do some logging. Console.log c.data.ops.theme. Let's just see what the theme is at this point. Maybe that'll help. And of course, I'm going to get a dump out of each widget doing it, so that'll be fun. Bootstrap, 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 bootstrap. Everybody's bootstrap. That's not good.
So is it not registering that you have that option selected?
It is not. So c.data.ops.theme, which is coming from over here, is always bootstrap. And edit option schema. All right, so let's bring this one over here, and I'm going to plug something into this function, console.log. And there's a really cool Java class that has been added to ServiceNow, and I forget who taught this one to me. I brought it up in one of the earlier episodes as well, but you can call console.log from your server script, and it will pass that data to the client side. So if I clear this and reload, boom, I get the log out over here. 2 of them are custom. 4 of them are bootstrap. And this is confusing.
It doesn't like you.
It doesn't. It doesn't at all. Options becomes data.ops. I am testing equality. I'm not accidentally assigning it. I don't know. Anybody got any thoughts on this one? I'm clearly getting my butt kicked. I'm with you. I don't like JavaScript anymore.
Told you. CSS is easy, man. You just tell it you want it to be red, and it's red. But you never tell it to be red, because red is an awful color. Unless you use it very sparingly.
Options.theme. Here, let's get rid of preview real quick. Try returning something other than the empty array. Okay, let's give it a shot. We'll return Steve.
Steve.
It's the first thing that came to mind. I don't know why.
Because you know you're going to have a baby yelling at you soon. He insists that the baby calls him Steve. It's great. Time is coming, Steve.
Panel heading. Setups bootstrap. That's panel heading. Here we go. And nada. So for some reason, over here, you know what? Let's check something real quick. Let's go to instance options. Or not instance options. Let's go to our widget instances. Is there already a theme field by chance?
I don't think so. I've never seen one.
Nope. Not that I see so far. No, so we shouldn't have any overriding there.
So are some of them doing it and not others, or is it just all not transferring?
Well, so what's happening is over here in the server script, options.theme Bootstrap. It's changed from custom to Bootstrap, but the only thing in between is this assignment here, unless there's something. Raphael's asking me to expand the HTML.
Is it okay that you use OPTS in one place and you spell out options in the other?
Yeah, because I have created that variable here on line 69. So that's where c.data.ops is coming from. Normalize options.
Return ops.
Data.ops.theme. Let's check it after just to be sure. Oops. Console, clear, refresh. Yeah, see, I've got 2 custom for Bootstrap, and that's what I would expect to see. And then there's 2 custom again for some reason.
Maybe it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like going down the
Oh,
line.
I know why, because I've got that one async. These 2 are async, the rest are sync. The rest are only running once. So that ain't it. So it's the right value there and the wrong value over here.
Is it something about how you're passing it? You're fumbling the code football, dude.
Yeah, it's bad. Console.log c.data.ops.theme just to validate, because I feel like I'm losing my mind here. Reload.
It's not like a
and
cache.
It's all Bootstrap.
It's not a cache thing, is it? Just throwing that out there. I mean,
Cache is disabled. C.data.ops.theme.
It is just theme, right? The option name isn't like something else.
Just to take a stab. I got to take a stab at something here just to see it. See, changing the name did it.
I am just
something
so
is
good at
something
this.
is wrong with using
theme.
Even though it's on c.data.ops. That's weird. All right, let's try renaming it. Name it weird. Exactly, Andrew. That's pro level debugging. Name it weird.
Call it like witch theme or something. Because it weighs more than a
duck. Theme 2 for the win, says Casey.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that. How many of y'all like spend an inordinate amount of time naming your variables and all that? Because they've got to have like the perfect name.
We'll call it theme classes. How about that?
You had so many good options given to you.
I was not going with which theme because it weighs more than a duck.
I think that's an awesome idea. It turned me into a noob. Theme classes. John, I can't do that. the XYZ. I have to give them names.
Theme class.
He says he likes to make his variable names get as close to over the line in terms of appropriate as he can.
They're not.
Especially if they're like child variables. Even like your children.
I feel like there's a point at which you try to make your names relevant. And then there's a point at which you start running out of relevant names, and then you cross over to a point where you might as well just name them A, B, C, D, E, and F.
No, you give them Star Wars names after that.
Star Wars names. What? It still didn't work. What happened? Oh, wait. I probably have to change my instance options now. More layers of namespaces. Oh, thank goodness. I just had to change my instance options.
The baby needs you to look at it.
Oh my goodness. What are you doing?
Alright, you have a good night, okay?
All right.
Y'all, this baby gets ornery if his dad doesn't acknowledge him. It's ridiculous.
Starts yelling at people.
He does, throwing things.
Did it still not work? Bad day. Bad day.
What?
I don't know.
Did it work?
No.
Do we need a simple? Oh no, it's NGClass equals C.get.
Andrew says if you run out of relevant names, you need to refactor into smaller functions. Good point. But what happens when you start running out of relevant names for your functions? It's all Bootstrap again. What am I doing wrong?
See, you know, if you just let me dive in, we could have been into some
I know, it could have
gorgeous
been.
CSS.
I know.
But you had to be all fancy.
I know. I know. I had to go all extra on it. It's all good. Oh. More layers. Andrew says more layers. Booger, booger, booger. No. No. We do. No, babies do not require charging.
Here. Block.
He's grabbing the laptop charging cables and wanting to chew on them. Man, I am like at a loss here.
Let me look at it. Can you like get out of your CSS so I can see all of the HTML?
Out of the CSS, you can see all of the HTML. Like that?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Equals. C.get panel classes. So is the function not getting the classes?
Well, the issue is here. Let's see. The issue is that if I put my log down here,
Mm-hmm.
then I get 2 custom, and the remaining are Bootstrap, as expected.
Andrew wants to know if it worked with a weird name or not.
It worked with one of the names. It worked when I renamed just the value up here. But as soon as I tried to use the value, it collapsed.
Go back to what worked. It's only weird if it doesn't work. Didn't you watch the Bud Light commercial? I think it was Bud Light. Maybe it was something else. He says change the server script there then.
Isn't the object where you're trying to set the theme, the condition is failing and picking up your default value of Bootstrap? All right, so let's see. All right, so if I put console.log data.opt.theme and I save it here, I should expect these four should say Bootstrap, and these two should say custom. Oh, wait. I changed from theme to theme classes. And then we'll try that again. So I get 2 custom, 4 Bootstrap. And that's as expected. So when I console.log at the bottom of my server script, can I have the notebook? Thank you. You want to come up here and mash on the keyboard? You might have better luck.
Now, I don't think you're going to be able to get anything done if you hold him.
Oh. Console.log data.ops.theme. Okay. All right. So yeah, if I put my console.log statement down here at the bottom, theme classes has the classes I would expect. By the time it gets over here into the c.panelClasses getPanelClasses function, though, if I reload, it's all Bootstrap.
Would it matter that you capitalize the default option in your server script?
Here?
Yeah.
Shouldn't.
Okay. I didn't think so, but you know, I was looking at anything we can do here.
Basically, from line 70 has the expected results on the server side. And I have unexpected results by the time I hit line 22 of the client script. So there's...
Did you catch that he said that theme wasn't defined out? I had walked over.
Yeah. The I originally set console.log to log data.ops.theme instead of theme classes, and I got a bunch of undefines, and that's what he was pointing out.
Okay.
Now, let me go one step further. Let me go absolutely...
Theme classes, options.
Theme classes, options.theme classes, or Bootstrap.
Does it make a difference if you do one of those long bars or 2?
2 is the or operator, so options.themeclasses, basically if it's a falsy value, which in JavaScript is complicated.
John asks if the default theme should be a string.
Default theme.
Y'all know
the type of it is a choice value, which should evaluate to a string. Should being the operative word there. I'm gonna try what Andrew was saying, because he's saying to nuke the underscore, which, if I stayed consistent with all of my ones that were working before, I did nuke the underscore, so we'll give that a shot. And then I have to nuke it over here. Ah! And then I gotta update it here. And then I gotta update it in all these places. Theme. Oh my gosh, I think I just saw it. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Idiot.
What is it? You didn't change it to HTML?
Guys, over here in the HTML template, I use the assignment operator instead of the what do they call it? The equality logic operator.
You didn't use the right number of equal signs?
I did not use the right number of equal signs. One equal sign assigns the value of Bootstrap. 2 checks the value. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And that makes sense because rendering this, as I've said in previous episodes, rendering the HTML template into actual HTML is technically a function that gets performed. So, so this would happen in between and cause that. That should add up. Everything adds up with that. Oh my goodness. All right, let's give it a shot.
I'm not going to laugh at you because I have struggled with this so many times.
Equal signs are evil.
No, what still gets me is when, like, why is my CSS not working? Oh, I didn't put the semicolon there.
Theme classes. Theme classes. Okay. And reload. Nothing. No. Still didn't work. Still didn't work. Oh my goodness. c.data.ops.theme classes. Let's see what we get. Am I still missing one of the... All right, custom bootstrap, custom bootstrap, custom bootstrap. That's what I would expect. If c.data.ops.theme_classes is equal to bootstrap. So my expectation is that these ones that are marked as custom should not have the panel classes. So this panel and panel default should not be there. Because for those two, the theme class should be custom. As we saw in the logout over here, 2 of them are custom, but they are not rendering properly. They're not rendering with my Steve class. I'm going to change all of them to custom.
Throw the console inside your check.
Hmm?
Throw the console inside your check, Andrew says. Man, you're getting some serious help here. We're going to figure this out, guys.
I know. Everybody's on board with this now. Everybody's like, we're going to fix this. Throw the console inside my check.
Andrew, for a second there, I thought you were telling him, like, throw his computer out the window or something like that. I had to reread it.
Inside the check.
Oh, that might help.
It'll tell me something.
All bootstrap.
All bootstrap. Okay. Inside check. Booger, 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 booger. And before check. Oh, goodness. So before check, custom, no inside check. Goodness. Who are you? All right, so let's flop all these to custom.
I'm gonna laugh if it has something to do with your other instance options. Have you checked that and make sure there's no way it can...
Oh, at this point, any guess is a good guess. Oh my goodness, really? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna flip my stool. Guys. Line 6 of the HTML, I missed one of the equals.
I feel bad for you.
I don't like JavaScript.
Watch it not work. See, I'm gonna make stickers for knowledge. I hate JavaScript.
And it works. Oh my goodness. All right, so now that I have successfully broken my CSS, I'm getting the classes that I expect. Oh my goodness.
Definitely getting stickers made that say I hate JavaScript.
I hate JavaScript. Oh, all right. So,
Okay, so
man, that is a sweet script, you might say. Round.
I sometimes wonder if people get half the references we make to obscure.
I hope so. All right. So we're gonna go else if. Custom. Actually, you know what? No, I'm just gonna say else. I don't even care what the. If somebody sets it to something that's not Bootstrap, I'm happy to call it custom.
You could have called it awesome and been awesome instead.
All right, so. All right, so now I need to add classes that we can completely control ourselves. To keep it separate from Bootstrap classes and to help prevent any potential overlap, I'm going to prefix it with CC, Code Creative. And
Nice plug there.
right. So I'm going to prefix it CC and... Oh, goodness.
She doesn't like that.
What's wrong with shameless plugs? Ready, and silence. How about that? Oh,
He's not
yeah.
gonna let you code though.
He's going to let me code. We're going to code with one hand, and we're going to let him beat on the keyboard with the other.
So you want one for the outer panel?
Yeah. Oh, are you taking over now?
Mm-hmm.
You got keyboard, I got baby?
Sure. Okay.
All right.
But I don't know how to syntax it, so you got to coach me through that.
Honestly, that should be fine. I'm happy just to give it that base panel class for now.
Okay.
Um,
Well, what I usually do with my panels is I do like an outer one that controls the look and feel of the card, and then I do kind of an inner div that gives it a nice, easy padding all the way around for my inner elements.
Actually, yeah, well, why don't we go instead? Let's go skeleton list, because that way what we can do is we can create classes around the component as opposed to around really low-level
Stuff.
design concepts. We can go at a higher level.
Okay.
Ow! Ow! Let go of the hair. Ow!
Y'all, it's very validating to have a husband whose hair is longer than mine, and the baby pulls his hair more than he does mine.
All right, so what that's going to do is that's going to put the skeleton list class
On that
up here on this one, and let's see. Now, at this point, we've got a couple options. We can add subclasses down here, or we can base our styles off of the HTML structure.
I think we can do a lot of it off the HTML structure.
You think we can go off the structure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see a reason to vary the structure of the simple list. Dude, you're kicking the desk and it's going to push us both over backwards. That's not funny. So I had him sitting in my lap, and he's got his feet propped up against the desk, and he's pushing backwards while I'm trying to sit on the stool and keep us from flipping over backwards. Now, we've got our class on there. I know. What we can do is we can get the kids taken care of and maybe try and tackle this later. I know. But I gotta cook dinner.
Y'all, he dangled designing this panel thing in front
I
of me.
mean, if you want, you can take it over and I'll go cook.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
Oh, why not?
No.
All right.
It's okay. This is your deal.
All right, so we'll wrap it up for now. We have our class in place now.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time, we actually will be able to do CSS. And we may try for that later on tonight. So we may try to handle putting that one together later on tonight after we get the kiddos a little more settled. Because I really want to put a nail in this one and be able to move forward with, app development stuff. This skeleton loader is just a warm up for the live streaming. Andrew almost has his problem solved while he was listening along. That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for joining in. If you've got the time to join us later, be on the lookout for that one. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll let you know when we're up and streaming, Andrew, and you can rehost. That'll be cool. Still trying to figure out how all this stuff works. But all right, guys. Yeah, thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.